Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Seth Ressler.
I'm Becky Scarcello.
And this is The Debrief. This is the show where we meet the creatives who are shaping Detroit.
We sure do.
And here's what we're talking about today. We know a lot of local artists, local entertainers who, in order to advance their career, feel at some point that they need to leave Detroit.
Fly the nest.
They need to move to another city, often Hollywood, LA, New York, something like that. In the case of the guest that we're having on today, Nashville.
Yeah.
She moved there when she was 17 because she's a recording artist, wanted to be a big, country star. And that's where you go when that's the thing that you want to do. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And she actually recently came back, and it was in coming back to Detroit that she has found success. So we're going to hear that story. We're going to find out what it was about returning to Detroit that really helped her find this success. But here's the thing about her. She is one of 5 Detroit artists that was selected by Tidal. This is the streaming service that, of course, Jay-Z is involved in. And they filmed this this Tidal Unplugged, and with 5 acts, and she's one of them. We actually have a little snippet of it. We'll show it to you. This is called Just Take My Money.
Just take my money right out of my hands. Just take my money right out of my hands.
That is Raye Williams. Raye, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Hello. It's good to be here.
Yeah.
Hope everybody's doing well. Had a happy Easter.
Yes, you too. So let's jump right in. Can you catch us up to when you're a 17-year-old, you leave Detroit, move to Nashville. Why did you go?
I grew up on country music, and my grandparents are from the South. My grandmother grew up just about an hour south of Nashville, and it just always felt like a place that I was supposed to be. I was that kid that was opening, CDs and reading the credits. And so by the time I was about 12, 13 years old, I had every studio, every songwriter, just everybody memorized that I was going to connect with once I moved to Nashville. So the second that I graduated, it just seemed like the natural next step for sure.
Right. So you're there for a few years, you're making music, you're building your career. But at what point are you saying to yourself, I don't think this is for me. Maybe it's not the right atmosphere to do what I want to do.
I was there for a long time. I moved there fresh out of high school. So it was right before my 18th birthday. And, I call it my college, which, college took a little longer for me in that I was there for almost 10 years and really never in a million years would have thought that I was going to leave it or fall out of love with it. But I always felt a very strong hold with Michigan because I'm the oldest of 4 siblings. And, I still have that mother hen mentality, and I was still coming back here. And my grandmother, God bless her, she'll be 94 this year. And so I was always coming back to see her. And then once my sister started having kids and just all of that, I just kept feeling not only a personal pull back to Michigan, but musically, I was really wanting to explore something different. After doing country music for so long, I always felt very drawn to the soulful part, the gospel part of country music. And so my favorite artists were Winona and people like Bonnie Raitt, and more recently like Chris Stapleton. And so that was just really a thing that I felt like I needed to go a little left. And the project that I did right before I moved to Detroit, it was kind of like I was foreshadowing it. I linked up with a producer named Jim Moose Brown, who's the band leader for Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. And I told him I want to make these country demos a Motown record. And so we went into the studio and recorded all of these acoustic work tapes as early Marvin Gaye records. And lo and behold, a year after recording that record, I would be living in Detroit.
Oh, okay.
I get what
I
you're
set the
saying.
stage for myself.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I get what you're saying about family though, because I mean I was the
The
same
pull.
thing. I was a radio guy. I'd bounce from city to city every 3 years, and when I was in my 20s, that was not a big deal. I mean, it was tough to
Yeah.
move to a new city, but it was not a big deal for me to get up and pick up. And now I'm at that point where I'm like, you know what? I want to stay here for a little while, and now I'm. Instead of shaping my where I live around my career, I'm much more interested in shaping my career around where I live. So I
Yeah,
totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah. And
Well,
what
it was
what was going on in Nashville where you maybe felt stilted, or were there challenges there that you thought,
oh
hey,
100
my time's over?
yeah. Yeah.
So what was that like? What was
I
holding you
mean,
back there?
I mean, I think that if you live anywhere, I don't care if you live at home, like your 20s are just such a huge growing period for you.
Mhm.
And, Nashville, um, everybody's everybody's going after something, everybody's chasing, there's so many talented people, and it's very easy to get distracted with being in your 20s, and so also chasing a career, but like
Yeah.
living with roommates, trying to pay bills, trying to stay away from douchebag guys, like the whole thing. And so I think it just finally came to like this breaking point where it just felt like it wasn't about the music anymore. It felt like it was just more about trying to like justify staying in Nashville. And if my heart really wasn't in the music that was being made there in Nashville, then like I kind of had to have a reckoning with myself. Then what am I killing myself for, trying to pay the bills, trying to keep this going when, you know, there might be another solution. There might be a reprieve of a career somewhere else. And so honestly though, moving back to Michigan was only supposed to be a 6 to 12 month experiment. That was it. And um I've been here 3 years now, so
Right.
or something
So
like that.
what's different between the scene and, producers you work with, that sort of thing in Nashville versus the vibe here in Detroit?
Right away moving back here, I knew I had my work cut out for me because I was so young when I moved away, and I wasn't coming back up here to really perform. So I wasn't still in the scene. I just was coming back to visit my family.
Mhm.
And so I really had to start over. And funny enough, my guitar player in Nashville is originally from Roseville, Michigan. His name is
Ah.
Shane Sanders. Incredible guy, and he recommended me to a friend of his who was looking for background singers, and they wanted like the gospel, like soulful thing. And I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I was just here like with my parents. I mean, it took one Friday night of watching 2020 with my parents and having them like fall asleep 20 minutes into it, where I was like, I've got to do something. I can't do this.
Yeah.
So I ended up working as a background singer when I first moved here. And once one band sees you there, then like all of these other people were calling. And so to be like completely transparent about it, I just kind of thought, okay, I'm back home. I'm with my family. I can be with my grandma. I can be with my new nieces and nephews and all of that. And you know what? If I'm just like shaking a tambourine and singing oohs and ahs, then like maybe that's okay. Like maybe this is just a different version of the dream. And I'm still doing music. I'm still doing what I love. And clearly that didn't last very long.
Yeah.
And but I was really kind of like accepting that maybe the music artist thing wasn't it. But soon enough I fell into the blues scene, and I just fell in love with singing live again. Nashville is so much of a writing town, it's a studio town, and if you are playing live, it's usually acoustically in a writer's realm. But here I was like jumping up in all of these live jams with like these incredible musicians, and like I'm singing Aretha Franklin for the first time in my entire life, like publicly outside of like my bedroom, and people are losing it. And so you're just kind of like, oh my gosh. And I give all the credit to Detroit, because I feel like Detroit showed me that I could literally be anything I wanted to be, and I could sing any way I wanted to, as opposed to trying to kind of like fit into a box in Nashville, which, you know, anybody that lives in Nashville will tell you that like that's a very common scenario. So I think that I found a lot of freedom coming back home to Detroit for sure.
And so that allowed you to kind of lean into what your identity was going to be as an artist. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just to be able, like I said, to just sing my butt off and like not even worry about the genre at all was like that might have been like the first time I ever was able to do that. And so from there it just was like this free fall into creativity and just really believing in myself again, because I think that when you live in a town like Nashville for 10 years and like the big break doesn't come in 10 years of trying, like it's either you think maybe you misinterpreted what the universe was trying to tell you, or just maybe like it's time, like maybe it's just not supposed to happen here. And it really was like I don't know, I won't call it kismet, but kind of kismet, coming back to Detroit, because I feel like just even with like the smallest effort forward and the positive energy and effort forward, like I got so much back in return almost immediately. And it's been a love affair ever since.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So it sounds like the whole music community was really like welcoming and embracing to you. So then fast forward to this whole Title Unplugged thing. Tell us about that experience and how you got involved with that.
Well, I was literally still singing backgrounds, and my first break in Detroit was very, very weird. And I hope that I'm just like the poster child for everything that sounds stupid. Like just do it, because honestly, you have no idea what's on the other end of that. And you know, half the time it might be spam, it might be junk, whatever. But like sometimes there really is something incredible waiting if you'll just take the 30 seconds to explore it. And so my first break in Detroit was I was driving for Lyft. I was trying to get reacquainted with the Metro Detroit scene and just the geography of where everything was. And I got a mass text message saying, hey, we're looking for Detroit area musicians. Send a link for some free recording studio time at this new facility, Music Town Detroit. And I submitted, and all of a sudden within 48 hours, like I had people from Lyft calling me and saying, can you come play our Christmas party? We don't know who you are, but like this was a solid submission. So that turned into releasing music independently, but also through Lyft. They were helping me, and so they threw me a big single release party, and that was really the thing that like reignited the artist thing for me and got me kind of away from background singing. And then we were working on an independent release, which was music that I had recorded a year prior. I'm doing all my own videos, I'm editing all my own everything, doing my website, doing my press releases. And right after we released this single, I see a sponsored ad on Instagram from Tidal that says, looking for Detroit area musicians, submit here for a possible grant opportunity. And it was super vague. And I took 30 seconds to fill it out and literally never thought about it again. Yeah. And out of thousands of people, I was one of 5 that just kept making it through all of these rounds. And it's a crazy testament, because it's like, my story is insane. Like I lived in Nashville doing this for 10 years. I've been at this since I was 12 years old. And how is it that responding to random Lyft text or a random Instagram ad from Tidal is really what moved this train along?
Right.
Every musician in Detroit who's watching this is now going to stop driving Uber, and they're going to switch over to Lyft. Because of this, right?
And they're going to start paying attention to ads. But there's something to be said for, you were in Detroit, you were letting yourself kind of be who you needed to be. So you were like ready for those opportunities.
Yeah, so, absolutely. I just wanted to immerse myself in everything that was here, because honestly, coming back to Detroit was like moving to a brand new city to me.
Yeah.
I mean, my family and everybody's in Romulus and Belleville, and I always joke we call it the Belleville bubble, because nobody goes 15 minutes outside of it in any direction. And so like I just fell in love with Detroit, and just all of the surrounding cities. I mean, I never even knew what like Royal Oak or Ferndale was until I moved back here.
Sure.
And like it's just wild to like rediscover what you left behind, really. And that's why I just say it's just the most beautiful and perfect storm that brought me back, and that because I was willing to just lean into it all the way, I think that I've been able to reap some incredible opportunities, because I don't act like I know it all. Like I want to learn, and with that openness, I've been very blessed. So
Yeah.
All right, Raye.
no complaints.
Let's check out the new single, which is dropping soon. This is String Attached.
Here we go. It's a Tuesday night and you're blowing up my phone like you run the show. You've always left me with a string attached, a connection you can't commit to.
That doesn't sound like country to me.
Dancing.
Oh my gosh.
That's fantastic.
We just were shooting a video for it today, because I mean, no offense, I love y'all, but I would not normally be decked out in fringe for y'all. But
Wow.
we had some really crazy outfits today, and I'm super excited for the video to come out.
I can't wait to see it.
Nice.
It's super fun. But yeah, I mean, I affectionately call this mom pop now, because my first love, aside from country, my first love was whatever my mother was listening to in the minivan, toting us kids. And it was everything on 100.3 WNIC.
Nice.
And so that's literally what this new title, Unplugged Music, I was like, I just want to model it after everything my mom was listening to. So String Attached is certainly a testament to that. And that comes out on all platforms on April 30th.
Great.
Awesome.
Great.
All right, Raye, before we get out of here, we have one last thing we've got for you to do. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, recording artist Raye Williams, name a Detroit creative that you think everybody should know.
Oh, Wasabi Detroit is an incredible vintage place that I love so very much. And I actually got this incredible fringe get up over here. So yes, please check her out on Instagram. And she styled the whole video. And yeah, I mean, if you love retro clothes, she's your girl.
All right.
Love that.
Raye Williams, thank you so much for joining us on the show. This was great to have you on.
I know, sharing your great
thank
energy.
you.
Appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, Seth and Becky. This was awesome.
Thank you. That's it for us. I'm Seth Ressler.
I'm Becky Scarcella.
Remember, there's lots of places where you can find the show, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We are now doing videos that are available on YouTube, or you can pull us up on Alexa. Plus, we've got a mobile app. Until next time, Detroit's moving.
Keep up.